Hey, it says starting. We are live. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. I've never felt so popular. I got emails, texts, Facebook posts from all around the globe. So thanks to Abe and Rachel for saving the day. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Young Living Business and the amazing Big Al Schreiter. I have one of his, whoops, where'd it go? There we are. Big Al Library.
Are live.
What? Okay. So, would somebody just text me now that we know we're on? Could somebody text me and let me know that you could see me and hear me? Unmute now.
I hope everybody can hear us.
Okay, can you hear us? Send us another text. Abe, can you hear us? You're good. Okay, we're good. Welcome, everyone. Call it up. Here we go. We've got 2 thumbs up. Thank you, Rachel. So welcome, everyone. Again, apologies for the delay, but thanks to Abe and Rachel, they saved the day. And we have here with us Oreste Pellicati and Sue Pellicati. We're your Young Living Platinums. And we're here to talk a little bit about Big Al, some of his incredible training, and about Young Living, building a successful business. So, Oreste, would you like to talk about how we got started?
Oh, sure. Well, many years ago, we ran a large holistic health clinic on the East Coast and set many, many people on a path to health and wellness. Part of our goal was to basically give people tools that they can use to empower themselves, rather than just depending on green medicine, as wonderful as it is to have acupuncture and Ayurveda, Tibetan medicine, Chinese herbal medicine, acupressure, acupuncture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's really nice to be able to reach even more people and to give tools that folks can use in their lives for themselves and their families. So that was one of the major draws for me when I saw what Gary Young was doing back 12, 13 years ago. It was quite extraordinary. He was putting together a system of self-care, a system of wellness training that people would be teaching themselves and teaching others and sharing to really take the bucket out of the bottom of the petrochemically funded, basically disease management industry, which is what's called healthcare in this country. It's a travesty. Look at any statistics anywhere. It's appalling. Talk to any nurse or doctor who are not medicated and ask them an honest question in an off-guarded moment. What do they think of what's going on? They'll tell you it's horrific. Everybody knows it's horrific. What do we do to change that? How do we not be victims? Dr. Young always talks about not being a victim. So this is an entire system of tools that people can use that are remarkable. They're phenomenal and they're terrific. So what got me interested in this was the fact that this is an empowerment tool literally for millions of people. That's what it is. It's the future. I mean, Gary thinks 7 generations into the future. He's buying up farmland, developing technologies, developing products. The vision around this company is unparalleled. It's phenomenal. So how many people here, drink Ninja Red? This is Ninja Red, okay? See? This is a bottle of Ninja Red. Okay, so I think that every single person who has a driver's license is qualified to have some MindWise, okay, and some Ninja Red, and some good clean water, 1 cup of water. Okay, here we go. I'm a laboratory scientist. Okay, I love to give people homework to do in their kitchens. So this is kitchen magic. Okay, so here is a cup of water, 2 fluid ounces. Sorry about you guys that do metric. You can transfer that into proper measurements. Okay, 2 ounces of Ninja Red, and I have 2 teaspoons because it's getting to be 8 p.m. It's been a long day. It's a wintry day out here. I need a little energy. This is MindWise. I'm going to make a cocktail right now. I'm going to be drinking it throughout. Now, just getting this out into people's consciousness and into their consumption stream is going to change the world. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to make any claims. I'm going to talk about the science behind this. We don't have an hour. Just doing this for millions of people will change the fate of humanity. Salute. That's how we got into it. I mean, there's all kinds of amazing stories and so forth and so on, but that's the bottom line, is these tools are phenomenal. The system is completely ethical. Nothing could be, you can't say anything bad about the company, except maybe they're growing too fast. So like sometimes people don't get their product on time because it's booming in terms of explosive growth. Now, if that's a problem, bring it on. Okay, so that's a little bit about that. I'll let Sue speak now.
Okay, so that's the doctor's side of the story. So now there's the Sue side of the story. It's Sue that pays the bills side of the story. And when...
I'm watching.
Oh, he's watching. Okay. So when we actually closed that really large clinic, because it was too much for us, and we sold it, and we still needed to work. It wasn't enough to maintain our lifestyle. And I ran the clinic. There were 25 people that worked for us. And I really didn't know what I was going to do. I really didn't want to work for anybody else. After you've worked for yourself and you've created your own economy and you've created your own lifestyle, it's really hard to go back. So our dear friend Ursula, who may make a guest appearance, I hear she's driving up to be on the call with us, she said, well, why don't you do oils, Sue? And I have known about the oils, and Jeffrey Lewis and Galen Green, who are Diamonds and Young Living, they're in the very, very top echelons of the company, and they're lovely people. They had asked us to join Young Living 6 years before we actually did. And actually, we joined, but we had no idea what we had. We were too busy running this big clinic and trying to help all these people, and also employing all these people and paying all these people. So it was this wheel, this hamster wheel of you help people, money comes in, you pay the bills, you get up and you do it over and over again. And I'm sure you all have a version of that for yourself. So we were actually in the oils. We had a few bottles, but I had no idea what kind of a business it was. And we were too busy to even figure out what type of a business it was. So it was 6 years later, when we actually sold the clinic, that I said, Ursula mentioned Young Living again, and I started going out with house shopping with Galen. And we were looking at beautiful homes, and I could remember when she was really broke, and basically her paycheck from Young Living was paying for this house. And I came home to Arrest, and I said, honey, I think this is something I want to look into, because I knew that the oils were good. I really trusted Jeffrey Lewis and Galen Green. And I also said, well, how are you doing this? And she basically said, we have 12,000 people in our organization that buys oils directly from the company. And once you experience the oils and the Ningxia Red and the Mindwise and all these other things and it feels so good, you really want to share it with somebody. And so people have simple sharing parties or gatherings or sharing one-on-one. And from that we get hooked on health, and it grows. It grows exponentially. So I came back and I said, this is something I want to do. And Arrest said, we've got to go, I got to go thoroughly check it out. Here he's back. I call him my holistic nerd.
It sounded too good to be true. Okay, I've studied herbal therapies for like 30 years ago. So I studied a naturopathic model, Western phytomedicine, herbal medicine. Part of that training was to learn about aromatics or essential oils. And I don't know if I can use the name on media, but Oracacia was the best stuff we could find, which is the stuff that they sell in Whole Foods and health food stores and stuff. And honest to God, I never had any kind of result with that material. I said, well, seems like it should work. I've learned about some aromatics in Ayurvedic medicine, and here I'm learning about it from Western herbal perspective. Stuff's not working. So like, I wasn't particularly impressed. And then I started hearing stories about people having miraculous cures, doing amazing things, taking oils internally, doing really heroic medicine with these materials and getting phenomenal results. So my first response was like, okay, I don't think it's fake. These sound like true stories. They're verified that people are getting amazing health results, but they're doing it how? They're eating oils. The non-trained, non-professional people are like dispensing oils left and right to their friends and family. This is really bad. What's going to happen is somebody's going to die, and the FDA is going to shut everything down, okay? Because it's too good. It works too good. They're going to wait for one kind of possible mistake or blame it and then shut it down, because that's what they do with healthy, holistic things. So I was not particularly impressed with the prospects of this company surviving. And okay, so
this was 13 years ago, guys.
It's been 13 years ago. Trust me, it's survived. Okay, it's done better than survived. It's thrived. It's grown every single year. And in the past year, which is its 20th year, it grew more than the first 19 years before that. That's a testament to the tremendous need for this type of material, the quality, the efficacy of this type of material to be out in the world. So, of course, I had to go and check this out. So Jeffrey took me out to Utah. I got to meet Dr. Young. I got to see him teach and speak to 300 people in the room. I got to visit the farm. I saw the distillation process. I saw the laboratory. I met with the chief biochemical research scientist. I mean, I looked at it left, right, and sideways, and I said, this is really impressive. This has tremendous potential. And of course, being in a teaching setting for a couple of days with Gary Young, where the guy is basically channeling information, where information is coming through to him faster than his nervous system and his tongue can actually express it to a room. I'm just watching this like, my God, there's a periscope to the Devaloka, and the angels just sending information down into the sky, and it's beaming into this room and out into the world. This is mighty impressive. So skeptical still, but heavily impressed at this point. So what I got out of it, bottom line was, when I came back to see Sue, I said, listen, Sue, if there may be money in this, great, okay? But the bottom line is, this is a system of self-care that every family on the planet needs access to. If for nothing else, we should do it for the greatest good of all and get the word out about this to as many people as possible. So that was my experience 13 years ago. Wish I'd done it 19 years ago. Hindsight is 20/20.
Okay, man, that man can talk. Well, I hope that this story touches you, and you guys are more than welcome to share it. So to put it in your own words, to put it into picture words, I think we all got a very clear picture of Gary just channeling really profound information out into the room and out into our holistic community. We had the image of this scientific holistic doctor traveling out to Utah to really fully check something out, right? And the reason why, as I was thinking about this presentation today, the reason why I really wanted to start with our story is because stories will stick with you. Stories literally bypass the subconscious that says, sales alert, sales alert. Stories stick with you for a lifetime. Okay, and that is one of Big Al's biggest lessons. I've been listening to his CDs. He has a whole concept of finding a way to work into people's minds that is for fun and profit, but also just to spread the holistic healing, right? So tell your story. Practice your story. People want to hear your story. So your stories can be of a variety. The story can be how you got started in Young Living. The story could be how you helped a neighbor or a family member. A story could be how it changed your life. So work on your story. Put picture words in that story. Use expression. Allow people to see the light. Okay? Biggest lesson I can share with you. Okay. So The way we were going to do this is through group process. And we had our boot camp number 1, and I gave a little explanation of a way of doing something, and then we broke up into groups of 4 or 5 people. And then we came up with ideas, scripts, useful things that could be applicable to any Young Living distributor, depending upon the situation that they're in. So for those of you that are listening that haven't had a chance to go to the Just Do It Facebook page and go to the files, you'll find boot camp number 1, and it lists many, many different scripts that are going to be available to us. But the scripts will make a little more sense to you if I explain a little bit about how the scripts were developed. So this is really a little bit of a review of boot camp number 1, but I think it's so important and so valuable. Besides the whole storytelling, that's number 1. Hands down, tell a story. When in doubt, tell a story. Okay? So, Big Al came to New Jersey. He spent 2 hours with us. People walked out of there dazed and amazed as he spun the tale of how we actually can open up people's minds to really want them, that they're going to listen to what you have to say next, and that they're going to answer your question with ease, and they're going to answer affirmatively. Okay, which is a lot to ask for. I showed this before when I was accidentally on mute, but Big Al, fortunenow.com is his website. When he came, he offered us the option to buy 36 CDs. He's my buddy in my car. I absolutely adore him. Orest, who's incredibly picky about speakers, will be the first to say the man's a genius and funny. So I highly recommend them. Or you can also just get his free newsletter. But let's review what we did in boot camp number 1 and what Big Al taught us in New Jersey. So here we go. I'm just curious. Take a pen and paper, write these words down. I am just curious. Those 4 words, everybody listens. And they're ready to answer. I'm just curious. It's done in a way where people don't feel like you're judging them. Excuse me for a second. Could you please not do that? Okay. Alrighty. So, I am just curious. Now, let's go down to the next few words. I just found out. Write those down. Now, I don't know about you, but when somebody says, I just found out, I am all ears. I'm all ears. You want to know what somebody just found out, right? Okay. Now, you ready for the next set of words? Would it be okay if? Would it be okay if? Now, Big Al does all these studies. He actually takes, I just got a note saying we have about 30 live viewers. This is really fun. Thank you, Abe. I really love working with these beautiful young souls that make this magic happen. Thank you. So, would it be okay if? So Big Al goes out, he does these, he actually creates something, like these 13 words, and then he test markets it on thousands of people. And then he's an engineer. This guy's an engineer. He's as funny as could be. And he figures out what percentage of the people are going to say yes to the question, would it be okay with? It's something like 97%. So this is powerful. The percentage of people that say, I just found out, is huge. Okay? So imagine if you strung these words together. All right? I'm just curious. I noticed that you go to work every day, and do you miss not being able to be a stay-at-home mom? I just found out that there is a way to be a stay-at-home mom. Would it be okay if I told you about it? That's a simple version. Now, what we did in boot camp number 1 is we came up with creative scripts for different situations. So I imagine a bunch of you love the skincare line. We have scripts on skincare. We have scripts on special needs children. Using these 13 magic words, we had a blast doing this. For moms, for the unemployed, for college grads, for healthcare providers, for someone who's ill, for an old friend, for a yoga instructor. So these are all situations. What about a successful business owner? These are different options. So for homework, I suggest you get the scripts from the Just Do It group, and then with your circle of influence, gather a team of people and work on some scripts. Practice them. Use them. Try them out. I think you're going to find it to be extremely successful. Okay. Now, there are 2 kinds of Young Living distributors. There are those that take very good notes and they attend every presentation. And then there are those that go and actually go out and practice what they learned or teach what they learned. Which one are you? So that was another little mind test that Big Al did. Is he said, the way to free someone's mind is with, there are 2 kinds of people in the world. Or there are 2 kinds of distributors in Young Living. Think about that. Okay. People that are good storytellers. You could look for people that are great storytellers. And you can say, you're a great storyteller. There's 2 kinds of storytellers in the world. Those that tell great stories and those that get paid for it. So there's a lot of creative ways to do this. Now, a lot of people really simply lead with the product. I think that's certainly how we started. Even though I was one of the few people, I raised my hand. There was a time when there were only 300 of us in a room in New Jersey. And Gary Young asked the question, who joined Young Living to get a business? And it was me, and it was Jeffrey Lewis. We were the only 2 people in the whole room. Now, I think that's different now. But generally speaking, because the products are so exceptional, people join because they've had an experience. They've had a miraculous, we're FDA, we need to be FDA compliant. So their hormones came back into balance. Their digestive system feels more supported. All these other things, but AKA, you know what I mean, right? We've all had successes with ULs, right? And we've shared our successes. And that has introduced people to the products. And we have a lot of wonderful product users. Now, here's the thing. If you go, you can do this right on Young Living, or you can go to the Just Do It group. There's something called the Young Living Income Disclosure Statement. And what it's going to show you is that only 8% of all the wonderful Young Living members are at the rank of star and above. So what that means is very few people really know how to share. They really, and they share enough, perhaps to, have a few people, maybe their volume is $400 a month or something like that. So that could be family members and themselves and maybe another girlfriend or friend, right? So that's fine. But I heard something fascinating, and this is from a really beautiful, intelligent, sharp lady. Her name is Shannon Hudson, and you can look her up on Facebook or on Google. Shannon Hudson. Okay, she's a diamond in Young Living, and she lives in Flint, Michigan. Now, Flint, Michigan, the way Shanna puts it is, in Flint, Michigan, when the whole stock market collapsed, she said, none of us noticed because we were so broke anyway. It didn't have an impact on us in our city. Flint, Michigan is where all of the American car manufacturers were. So that is a very, very poor area. Okay, so what she said to me that really struck home is probably one of the very worst things we can do is to introduce people to these incredible products and not show them how to get them paid for. It's like putting the carrot in front of us that we can never reach if we can't afford it. She says nobody drops out of Young Living because they don't like the products. They drop out of Young Living or they don't order because they can't afford it. So one of the reasons why I like Big Al and why he talks a lot about sharing network marketing is when we can incorporate introducing in simple ways, like with the 13 words or the mind freeze. Okay, so there are two kinds of Young Living members. Those that buy their oils and sacrifice and don't buy something else, and those that get their oils paid for every month. Okay. So it presents a very simple way of letting people know that they can reach the carrot. And it's my passion. And this was one of the things that really touched home for me personally. One of my stories is I have a person in my downline, lovely, lovely, lovely girl. She's a stay-at-home mom, 3 children, and her husband, brings home the bacon. And she said to me, well, my husband doesn't want me to buy organic. It's too expensive. And I was on a mission to make sure that that family earned enough money from Young Living that she could say, honey, we can afford organic now. And she's way beyond that now. So let's put some passion into allowing each person that we share Young Living with, help them be able to grab that carrot. Okay. So I don't want to talk too long because we covered a fair amount. But this is a brief introduction to Big Al and some of his thoughts and some of our thoughts, Sue and Oreste Pellicati. You'll find that we're putting together more and more things available on YouTube to help people. This is our first one in terms of Young Living training. Expect to see more of us. If you want to watch something fun and also learn in a very short amount of time, you definitely want to go to Self-Care Global, Self-Care, then Global, and then TV. That is the station. Hey, here's one of the key characters.
In the know with Dr. O. I'm happy to share information that you can use immediately. It's for free. It's for the whole world. Let's make it super popular to get the word out there.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why we came up with the name Self-Care Global is because of what Oreste said years ago, 13 years ago, when we said that Dr. Young has created a self-care system that everybody on the planet needs to know about. And we literally have distributors around the world, and we're so blessed. Many we haven't met, would love to meet, and are grateful to have in our lives. So that is our mission, is to spread this self-care throughout the world. So thank you for joining us tonight, and
Thank you.
namaste, and many more to come. Good night.